Hello and welcome to Deep Blue Sea, the podcast. I am Mark. Billy! Wait, no. Billy! No. Billy! Wait, I can do this, okay? Ready? Billy! You're just as bad as them! Hoffmeyer.
I am Jay Dinosaur, spelled like you're flying. Fluid! Welcoming you down
That
to...
did make me happy, though.
It's a Deep Blue Sea, the podcast. On this show, Mark and I have dived our way through the entire Deep Blue Sea trilogy, scene by scene. Now looking at some Deep Blue Sea adjacent films, or, as with today, some Deep Blue scenes in other films. This is the final episode of our Jurassic mini-series. This is the third of 6 films. We did them in a weird order, but we're finishing on Jurassic Park 3. Looking at
we did 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, we did the Star Wars order. It's like a poem, it rhymes. We're looking at the Deep Blue scenes of Jurassic Park 3, which includes the opening with the boat and the parasailing and the dinosaur. Then there's the scene with the pterodactyls, because that involves a lot of water in that. And then there's a bunch of boat stuff towards the end. There's a lot of Deep Blue Sea adjacent stuff in this film. There's a lot of stuff on the water. So Jurassic Park 3, directed by Joe Johnston, came out in 2001. Sam Neill and Laura Dern for a cameo, basically. The only returning cast members, introducing William H. Macy, Taylor Leone, Alessandro Navolo, Trevor Morgan, Michael Jeter. Bruce A. Young as
She's
Nash.
only in this movie, Laura Dern, because Alexander Payne did a rewrite and was like, "Hey, I liked working with her, so we'll get her a paycheck and put her in this movie."
I mean, I'm welcoming presence to see her. Always happy to see Laura Dern in the film.
Oh yeah.
But it is kind of like, oh, she's in this too. Well, where's she gone? She's back. No, where? Oh, she's just stuck with these guys.
Billy,
Yeah,
the rock star scientist.
I have not kept it a secret that I don't like this film in the past. I've described this as my least favorite Jurassic film. Fallen Kingdom is in a tie for bottom place with this one, and this rewatch didn't help.
Something you said to me, Jay, made me dislike Fallen Kingdom more when we did that episode.
Okay.
You said Fallen Kingdom hates dinosaurs.
I said J.O. Biona hates dinosaurs.
It's true.
Yeah.
So that put Fallen Kingdom last for me, and then Jurassic Park 3 is second to last. Now,
I think that's where I settled out as well.
Yeah, right. As a film, right?
Yeah.
I think Fallen Kingdom makes more sense than 3. But
Yes.
since it hates dinosaurs so much, I'm gonna put Fallen Kingdom last and JP3 in.
Because at least with this one, you get the feeling like Joe Johnston and the guys who wrote it, so Alexander Payne, Peter Buckman, Jim Taylor, they're like at least like the Spinosaurs. At least like there's this really cool huge one with a fin. They've not used it yet. This is going to be amazing. You can tell that there's a love for that guy, even though if you're watching it and you see it kill a T-Rex and you think, oh, hang on, that's this. The T-Rex is the symbol of this franchise. You can't kill the T-Rex in an early scene. Stop it! Don't kill my T-Rex. Yeah, because that's like one of the T-Rex couple from the previous film. There was like a family of them and they just killed one. No, makes me sad.
The Spinosaurus, though, it took 10 months to build. It was 25 feet high, 44 feet long, and it weighed 12.5 tons. It's on screen for like 3 minutes. But
I think it's too big.
Yeah, and it does have one of the best JP gags. Remember in Jurassic Park 2 when the raptor jumps through the glass?
Yes.
And Goldblum has to go back out the door? I love that this one just ramps through the giant fence. Like, that's a good gag.
I like that the dinosaurs in here are mean. They're like the sharks from the shallows.
Yeah.
Because when they're like they can hear the phone ringing. Have you got the phone? Have you got the phone? And they turn around and the Spinosaurus just stood there looking at them, kind of panting. And it's like, what isn't he just charging and he's just watching? He's waiting for his dramatic moment. He's being mean, being a dick. And then in the scene with Taylor Leone is looking at that raptor sequence, which he's looking at the big tanks, and she stops at one, and she's like, wow, this raptor looks so real, and it stood there so still for like 20 minutes, and then she sees its eye kind of move, And it's there, it's alive. What was it doing? That raptor's just being mean.
And it snaps a dude's neck. It just
does.
latches onto a guy's neck and goes.
It's Udesky, Michael Jeter. I love Michael Jeter. This is a really un-Michael Jeter role. He's like a Broadway song and dance man. Think of him like he's in like The Fisher King. He's in Patch Adams, and then this is his like tough guy, mean guy role. Yeah, he's a guy that's supposed to be able to be sold as a mercenary. He's not really a mercenary, but you believe that he is. And this is such an odd role for Michael Jeter. Like he's great in it, and then they kill him.
It's like the French Stewart Stargate role.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, French Stewart. Yeah. Also, we have I meant to say in the intro. We have John Deal, Cooper, the guy who gets eaten by the Spinosaur, from Con Air. They're not even from Con Air in this film. Got to tie it together when we have Con Air connections because we did do that film. But yeah, I hate the Kirbys. I hate Billy.
Oh,
they're such irritating characters.
Just screaming, Jay, screaming on the island.
So much yelling, so much. Like the first thing Alan says when I get there is stop yelling, and that's all they do for the rest of the film.
This movie had a tremendous collapse at the box office too. I love that. So the first Jurassic Park, even without inflation, it grosses $1 billion worldwide in the 90s. Yeah. The second one makes $618. So if you adjust it for inflation, that's dang near $1 billion. Like just big money. The third one makes $366 million, and it's out of the theaters in a month. Like this movie, I remember watching this and just going,
yeah.
Like it was, it didn't hit for me.
But there's a number of people who say this is the best sequel in the Jurassic franchise because it's 92 minutes long. It has a simple story. He gets in, has the action, gets out, move on with your day. I can see that, but I don't like the story. I don't like the characters. Compare this to, we don't like the bad guys of Fallen Kingdom, the Rafe Spall and the Ted Levine and the Toby Jones, but there is some character to them. There are some decisions there. There's something going on. Whereas, and they're interesting. They're kind of colorful characters, but the Kirbys here, they're a couple who, this is more of a romantic drama family where like they were married, they're divorced. He drives 500 under the speed limit. She totaled 3 cars in 3 years, and the kid is just like, oh, they're together, they do it all together, and it's just this family growing back together over the course of this trauma. I was like, that's fine, but that's not what I want in my dinosaur film.
No,
like, I want a guy who collects teeth.
They're not even likable, right? They're just yelling and they kidnap people. And listen, I would scorch earth for my cats or Mallory.
So you have a child, Mark.
Yes. So, but like, I'm just saying both. Like, I would, but I don't think I would kidnap people and bring them to an island and have them die. Like, I would hire mercenaries. Sure. Like, listen, y'all, dinosaurs might kill you, but I'll pay you. No, yeah, fine, cool. Like, I wouldn't kidnap somebody.
Yeah, I get their motive and their reasoning. You know, they've been to the government, the embassy, and they've said, sorry, come to terms with your kid's dead. Is what, which harsh. But you know, it's been 2 months and it's an island covered in dinosaurs. Eric should be dead.
Yeah,
there's no
toast.
The fact that he is alive is a miracle. But
it just pops up 40 minutes in the movie. And...
I hate that kid. I feel like you're supposed to because he's the brassy little actor kid from Sixth Sense. Trevor Morgan, you're supposed to hate him in the Sixth Sense. Like he's the main kid's friend, or not. He goes to his birthday party and he's like a little dick. And I just always still remember that. Oh yeah, it's that little. I hate him from that film. I still hate him here.
This is the thing, Jay, and this is why the movie shouldn't be considered the best sequel. Is that Alessandro Nivola didn't like it. He didn't like working on it. He's like, I have no character. And he fought to stay alive, even though pteranodons are stamping on his head. They have beaks that could shred adamantium, and they are just whomping on him, and then he's fine.
The beaks are a human length long.
Yeah.
They are the length of Billy. And
William H. Macy said that whoever let this $100 million ship go into sea without a rudder should have been fired or shot. That's what William H. Macy said about this movie.
Oh, wow.
So like Joe Johnston almost walked off. This movie had so many different scripts. Like it went through so many different it's a patchwork of a movie. So if you're saying it's the best movie because it's short,
that's not my reasoning.
No, I'm not you, but like I guess teach their own, right? I guess it is in and out, and it is 90 minutes, but there's really nothing here.
Yeah, I think the people that say this is the best one hate all the rest of them.
So like it's the best because others suck?
Yeah, that's a different problem.
Yeah. Interesting. All right. But I mean, all right, so the water stuff.
Yeah, sure.
It is fun. The water, like, okay. So listen, watching the Spinosaurus, the gigantic, practically built by Stan Winston Spinosaur, attack the crew on a boat, and a cage is involved, and William H. Macy's actually on a crane being shaken around in a gigantic set, and the Spinosaur somehow becomes incredibly less mobile because it's not VFX anymore, but it looks great. It still is fun. Like, it's dinosaur carnage. The spine coming up.
Yeah.
Like, Jaws is cool. But then it just proceeds to not move anymore. And also, Jay, the pterodon. When the pterodon, they're in a bird cage. They find out they're in a bird cage. They get attacked by gigantic pterodons. They fall into the water with a pterodon who does a great belly flop. Mm-hmm. But the cage lands on it and sinks. And I'm thinking, when it hits the bottom, the pterodon's just going to be stuck on the bottom of the water with a steel cage on its wings. And it's going to drown.
Yeah.
Horrifyingly.
I mean, they are terrifying. The Pteranodons are... That scene's the best scene of the film.
Terrifying pterodons?
They are, yes, they are terrifying Pteranodons. But just when it's like walking out of the mist, that's a really effective sequence.
And then Grant front kicks one in the face. Give me more of that. Give me more action, Grant. Yeah. Action, Adam Scott. Action, Sam Neill.
Yeah, I mean, my biggest problem with the film is that Billy survives. He as you've said, he's getting pecked to death. He's getting trampled on. He's been through a whole bunch. I do like that he is the guy who gets in the parasail and goes and saves Eric, to whom he is essentially a stranger. They met like a scene earlier.
Well, he has to redeem himself.
Yeah, he's a silly Billy trying to steal the eggs. And
what an idiot!
What an idiot!
What an idiot!
Again,
that's another problem, Jay. This movie is like, I have a very hard time with films that are kicked off because of idiocy. So it's Con Air, right? Prisoners escape. It happens.
Sure.
Deep Blue Sea. She wanted to cure Alzheimer's. They cut corners. Happens all the time.
Yeah.
It's just, no, they just created them too smart. But that's not stupid. Like, no, I don't think that's dumb. Like, The Shallows. She stays out a little bit too long, but she's cherishing the memory of her mother. Like, it's not fueled by dumb.
And she had planned to go there with her sister, but her sister got hungover.
Yeah. And like, just, hey, I'll see you later. So you have that. And also, but in this movie, the kid is parasailing next to an island with dinosaurs.
Stupid.
Because
like, you're not gonna, the guy on the boat says he's gonna get you close, but not too close, don't want you to get eaten. They're not gonna get close enough that they can see anything. They're just near. And that's gonna be an expensive trip.
Very expensive.
Yet later in the film we find out these aren't actually rich people.
No.
Well, that rich. I mean, they've hired mercenaries and chartered a plane, so they're not poor, but they're not the mega rich billionaires that they made out to be. I guess so. They're somewhere in the middle.
Do they have to pay their mercenaries since they all died?
I would imagine a check would have been written like half before, half after kind of thing.
Hey, they got a 50% off deal.
Yeah, maybe they're behind the whole thing. That's Spinosaur's remote control. They're in a league with Stan Winston.
All right, Stan.
This wasn't on.
This plan is crazy.
This wasn't on InGen's books. Yes, they never made this dinosaur. We did.
So there's a Stan Winston designed dinosaur running around this island? Yes.
It was. That's why it got really less mobile towards the end. It wasn't designed to go in the water.
Oh, yeah, short circuit.
It malfunction.
Yeah. So, yeah. But, like, he steals the eggs. They're parasailing. They lie. everything's bad. All the decisions are bad.
Everyone is there under false pretenses. Even like Udesky is not really a mercenary. Everyone is there. Like Sam Neill is just the one who's been roped along.
And like that's why I don't really like Jurassic World, where they create the Indominus Rex, and they don't tell people that, hey, it can lower its, it can you won't pick it up on heat sensors. It can change color. Just be like, listen, y'all.
Camouflage. It's part raptor.
Listen, y'all. Even if you don't see it, it's in there. Okay, just it's in there. Just If it's not pop, don't go in. Don't go. Just tell people that. That's why I have a hard time. But yeah, But you're right, Jay. We are talking about the best moments of this movie.
Yes. And yeah, so the opening with the parasailing, the boat just kind of goes through the mist and then comes out and there's no people after there's like blood smears on it. That's a pretty cool thing as well. I mean, that then assumes that there are some dinosaurs off of the island. There's some aquatic dinosaurs, plesiosaur perhaps, or the birds have already started to get out. Or something can swim. The Spinosaur has pretty long limbs. Maybe it can like swim and get there. I don't know.
While the boat still steers.
I mean, it's a plot. It's a plot hole, sure. Or it wasn't dinosaurs, and one of the guys on the boat went all Jason Takes Manhattan and just killed people on the boat. I don't know.
That's what I think it was.
Yeah. So it's a plot. It's a plot to kidnap the kid that went wrong. There's a struggle. And they all died on the boat.
How funny would that be?
I mean, that would be more plausible if they landed on the island by accident. If they were just out parasailing, not because it's dinosaurs, they're just out parasailing and they cut off of the boat and end up stuck on this island. That would maybe be better. You'd miss the dinosaur parasailing gag.
Yeah. They should just been catapulted onto it.
Yeah.
The world's largest catapult shoots them a little further than they think.
Yeah.
Because I'd do that.
And it would have to involve catapulting over some kind of sea beast. and the army shows up at the end on jet skis just to get the Hoffenheim trifecta.
What if, a cruise ship is attacked by a megalodon?
Okay.
And then it crashes on the island, like Speed 2.
Okay.
And then everybody has to get off and survive on Dino Island. And it's just chaos.
Have you seen the Netflix show Skull Island or whatever it's called?
No.
That's elements of that.
Skull Island?
There's a is it Skull? I think it's Skull.
Is it animated?
Yes. It's pretty cool. There's 10 episodes. There's some good people in the cast. The lady from The Hunt, the main lady from The Hunt.
Oh yeah, she's cool.
Betty Gilpin. Yeah, she's like a main character in it.
Betty G.
I mean, that's kind of what it is. Like, people who shouldn't be on Skull Island are on Skull Island trying to survive dinosaurs.
We should do the Monsterverse water scenes next.
It's on my list.
Okay.
Don't you worry.
Godzilla swimming
not
with
the
those
scenes.
aircraft carriers. They're amazing, Jay.
Yeah. It's on the list. Don't you worry.
Okay. All right. So they're in the aviary here. So these birds get out because they're giant.
Tail Leone doesn't shut the cage.
Yeah. Like they need food.
What have they been eating in the cage?
Each other?
There's not and there's babies, so they're going to be feeding the babies something.
Yeah, they get out of that cage. They fed them the two. They snagged the two guys on the boat. That's what I'm thinking.
There are a bunch of human skeletons dotted around the island, so they must have found a supply of them somewhere, or other people have gone missing parasailing. It's the 5th time this year.
We gotta stop getting our guys killed we gotta stop hiring born enemies to ride a boat together.
We're running out of people who can drive boats. They'll keep. Well, that's it. They just dive off. It's a sacrifice to the gods of the island. It's just dive off and swim to shore. They've got a stock of boats. Or they come back and get the boat, patch it up, take it out again.
So Cthulhu's on this island, and they have to offer them its sacrifices.
Yeah. So they're just hiding in the boat.
They jumped onto another boat when there was cloud cover.
Yeah.
And then threw some blood on the ground.
Man-made fog. It's all staged. It's all Stan Winston.
This is like some cabin in the woods stuff we're getting into here.
Cabin on the island.
Maybe those two were the targets the whole time, and there's a basement, and they had to pick a place to go to, and then they got drugged and picked Dinosaur Island.
I would pick that too. Yeah.
So then technically they failed. So I'm hoping like Norway or Japan succeeded.
Yeah, you gotta hope. Or the other island. Like, like Isla Sorna failed, Isla Nublar. There's still hope. You never know.
Skull Island. Oh, that'll work. Skull Island's horrifying, Jay.
It is. It's shaped like a skull, for one thing. Something that you never see when you're on the island.
Our man Toby Kebbell gets killed in it.
He does. That's.
But he also does Kong's work in there.
Yeah, and a lot of people get killed in that film. There's a lot of great character actors.
Sam Jackson gets smashed.
Shea Wiggum.
Oh, the wigs.
Yeah, love Shea Wiggum. John Goodman doesn't make it. Mark Evan Jackson.
I still don't understand the sword scene with Tom Hiddleston.
You don't need to. It just looks cool. That's what it's for. Just got to look cool.
This, out of nowhere, they have a slow motion sword scene. But I still love that movie. There's octopi in there.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah.
So good.
I like that. I mean, Ben, the Taylor new partner, his corpse falling on Taylor and getting all wrapped up in her, and it's a lot more screaming, but it's justified screaming because the corpse of her ex or her current partner has just been entangled within her. I like that scene.
Yeah, good jump scare, and it's a reason to scream.
Yeah, it's she has been told not to scream, but this is extenuating circumstances. There's a corpse on it.
Yeah, and that could have been a good catalyst, Jay. They're quiet, right? They're like, listen, we want our kid, but we'll be quiet. And then a corpse lands on you. That's all the noise you need.
You're gonna scream. Yeah.
You don't need a megaphone.
No.
That'd be funny if his kid comes out of hiding and gets eaten. Like he's running. It's like Platoon.
I would love that.
The child runs towards them, and then just behind him, there's like 43 raptors that just rip him to shreds. And he looks like Willem Dafoe, just getting tore up while the entire family watches.
Yeah. So the irony of them coming to save him is what killed him.
The kid looks great when they get. So he's obviously been fine the whole time.
He's just found an apartment on the island. He's got a gym on there.
I found some condos that were fully stocked, and everyone moved out.
There's a full kitchen, like Preacher's here. He's been making me dinner. We've got a pet bird. You know, it's all good.
You watch like one raptor has his left leg, one raptor has his right leg, another raptor has his right arm, and another raptor has his left arm. Then another raptor has his head, and then just everything just goes, it's ripped off, and then it's just the stump of his corpse lying there as everything runs away. William H. Macy's like, oh my god. Leone's screaming. Yeah, everyone's just falling to pieces.
That would be a reason to scream as well. I think that would be justified. If you see your child be cut into 6 pieces by lassoed raptors, I think, yes, I would scream too.
Woo! Spielberg gets mean. He would have done it.
Yeah.
Joe Johnston, like, the problem with Joe Johnston is he makes everything look great. But it's really interesting with him where he made Rocketeer and it looks great. And I love it, but like it didn't really do too well. He made Jumanji, which did great. Actually, he did Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Yeah.
It's like he's all about the looks, but those stories have much more compelling stories than just shuffling Sam Neill back on an island.
And the first Avenger, Captain America. That's a film that looks great.
Yeah.
It's a great kind of small scale MCU film. It's one of the better kind of origin stories from that saga.
That's his wheelhouse.
Yeah. But he kept on at Spielberg for ages to do a Jurassic sequel. He wanted to do this. He liked dinosaurs. You can tell. He had a cool one he wanted to use and play with. He just didn't bring any cool people along with him. Cool characters to play with.
Well, he said that
better if Jeff Goldblum had come back.
Yeah.
Like, instead of Alan Grant, or as well as have they're bickering again.
I love Grant, but he works in relationship to just having Laura Dern there, having the back and forth with Goldblum and the kids.
Yeah.
This one, he's fine, but there's nothing super compelling about Grant in this movie.
Yeah.
He's
a little grumpy. He's like when they talk about his 2 books and the first one being better because the dinosaurs haven't tried to eat him yet. But yeah, that makes sense. This guy would be very much wary of dinosaurs and wouldn't want to be here. And the same problem with Justice Smith in Jurassic World. Sorry, Fallen Kingdom. He doesn't want to be there. I don't want to see a film about someone who doesn't want to be there.
Goldblum would be having a good time.
Yeah.
And also Billy, too. Billy's just so saccharine that there's no back and forth between him and Billy.
Yeah. I get Alessandro Nivoda's, yes, but he doesn't have a character. There's nothing to him. At the start, he's kind of mansplaining how, like, what's a fossil and what's a rock to his, like, research assistant and showing how... What is that showing us about his character other than he knows how to dig up bones a little bit? Like, we can tell he works with Alan, great, but that doesn't show us anything more. That's not a character we see again that he's talking to there. She's not along for the ride as well. It's just, hey, this guy, he's awful.
He mansplains and he can 3D print.
He's patronizing. Actually, it's all rock. Like, okay.
I wish she just would have been like, yeah, I know, that's my specialty. You're an idiot. And then she walks out.
Yeah.
And then she grabs his sandwich.
Just something.
He's like, hey, that was my sandwich. And she just slams it on the ground.
Now. Actually, it's all mine.
She just takes one bite and just wings it.
Go get it. You want it? Go get it. Just throw it off the cliff.
It'll be on the rocks.
Or the bones. I don't know.
We're making a great movie here. This kid gets ripped into 6 pieces. There's a bit about a sandwich being thrown. This is the movie I want, Jay.
There's a murder plot on the boat, a kidnapping plot.
So we've ditched Cthulhu, right? It's because the 2 killed each other on the boat.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. And there's an animatronic dinosaur.
Yeah. And
William H. Macy set this up so he could only pay them 50%. The mercenaries 50% up front.
This his whole plan was to kill Ben, to kill his ex-wife's new partner so he could get her back.
Oh my gosh!
This is Fargo, William H. Macy. This is a real sniveling coward of a guy. He's a horrible guy.
Just terrible. Oh, I love it. Why can't we have this William H. Macy? Imagine this though. At the end, he rips off his mustache. Right?
Wait, is it a real mustache he's ripping off or a fake one he's ripping off?
No, a fake one. He rips off his mustache. And then it's just chaos everywhere. And he rips off his mustache. He takes off his cargo pants and he has some slacks underneath. And he just puts a cigar in his mouth. And it's like Kaiser Soze.
Wow, that is shameless.
What's this? How much money would this movie have made at the box office?
I mean, I would have seen it 20 times. We talk about it every week. We were doing Jurassic Park 3, the podcast, not TVC.
Just, man, there's animatronic. What a movie. What a movie.
Like, Stan Winston is a character in our film. And it turns out at the end, he's animatronic too.
It's like Westworld. But Stan Winston created himself.
Yeah.
And then you learn at the end, like when you cut, it's just him looking at Stan Winston looking at a monitor, going on to phase 2. It's like the Belko experiment.
Oh,
but Jurassic Park 3.
So what one person survives this film, and the one person, this is like escape room where they're just trying to collect people from surviving these scenarios. Yeah.
The military rolls onto the beach at the end, but then it's to blow them up, and then the movie becomes like a 3-hour movie, and the second half is more like The Revenant.
God.
It's just Sam Neill huffing and puffing and laying in puddles and being pushed away in rivers and fighting a mustachio-less William H. Macy who just starts mumbling like Tom Hardy.
Did you hear Sam Neill won an Oscar for Jurassic Park 3? I know. Yeah, it happened.
There's a 43-minute scene where he just lays in a puddle and gets assaulted by a raptor.
Awesome. I don't think he's going to survive, but he does. And later in the film, he has to gut a hadrosaur to sleep in it. To pretend he's a dead. I barely remember the reference. I saw that once.
It's like 3.5 hours long.
It's too long and too depressing. It's too real.
There's like a one taker. Joe Johnston's like, I just really wanted to subvert expectations.
I just really wanted to punish my actors for 8 months, and they can't shave.
Sam Neill was like, they said this movie would be like 2 months and I could get away from my vineyards for just a little while, but I was there for 3 years.
The vines, they're dying. My wine, it's ruining without me.
That puddle
down to
scene
one
took 6
paddock.
months to film. Shoot, we could have talked about the puddle scene on the show.
Yeah, we just did.
Yeah, that's true.
See, Sam Neill, he's best when he's playing nutcases.
Yeah.
He's best when he's playing like in the mouth of madness, that kind of thing.
Yeah, he gets loopy at the end of that.
He does. It's great. I love it so much. But he's just too bland in this one.
Mm-hmm.
He's a dinosaur man. I do enjoy him talking to kids about dinosaurs. I've been in that situation many times. With kids who like dinosaurs but still get bored when I talk to them about dinosaurs. My nephew's really got into sharks recently, which is great. But he doesn't want to talk to me about them. I asked him what's his favourite shark, and he said the scariest one. I was like, which one's that? He just said the scariest one. So I ruled off a list of sharks, and none of them was the scariest one. But then he settled on tiger shark as being the scariest.
Oh, yeah, they're beastly.
Just because it sounds like another animal. It has stripes, I think. I was like, bull sharks, they're mean. Mako sharks, they're clever. I'm trying to get into the Deep Sea franchise. Tiger sharks,
No.
Mako sharks eat tiger sharks. Yeah, he's 6. He's not gonna be watching this film anytime soon.
Yeah,
But
got
one
it.
day. He will one day.
Not the 3-hour cut of Jurassic Park 3.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the Spinosaurus, right? You know what I love about the Spinosaur, too, is they're in the boat, the cage is there, but you have a cut in between this where Grant's calling Sattler. But the problem is, with that scene, is even if that kid gives the phone to her immediately, they're still stuck in that predicament. This isn't like, hit the button and it'll stop. Like, he'll call them, like, we're being attacked by a Spinosaur. Oh, okay, I'll call the military and they'll be there in 3 days. Like, it's not... It doesn't make sense to intercut back and forth between the kid and them, because in the moment, that phone call does nothing.
Yeah, it's not helping that. It's helping the bigger problem of they're stuck on this island, but not the smaller problem of they're about to be eaten by a Spinosaur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And the military do get there very quickly. They are there the next day, pretty much.
Just
Yeah.
That was a reshoot. You know, they didn't have that. They're like, well, we need more action, so they flew him back to Hawaii to film that scene.
What, the water scene?
Yeah, with the National Guard, like all the
Oh, I
tanks
see.
coming up, and they actually gave them
Okay.
Marines, and like it was like a full blown scene, but it was a reshoot.
That's an expensive reshoot. There's a lot of people in that. There's a lot of gear in that.
They're like, we need to buff up this final sequence, so like she brings the entire military there.
Jesus. I mean, they do establish that her partner is involved with that kind of thing. Her partner Mark works for the State Department, is what we're told. So presumably that's something. He has some kind of clout where he can get the army to do things.
He's gonna get fired.
Maybe. But maybe Alan will write another book, and they can just use the sales from that to fund their lifestyle. I don't know.
That's fair. It's just the entire military shows up and like, hey, so why y'all here? Well, we lied and we went to go rescue my kid. I guess they would lie.
And using a megaphone is a bad idea, but the dinosaurs are probably going to hear all of the tanks, and everything else is showing up. That's not quiet.
The great thing is, like, we don't see a tank blowing up a Carnosaur.
Yes.
Or Roger Corman Carnosaur. I
mean, I do still kind of want to see that pitch for Jurassic World, which was raptors with machine guns. I do. Part of me, it's so stupid.
Did Colin Trevorrow come up with that?
It's a script that's been kicking around for a long time, so I don't know if it was him or someone else, but it's so stupid, but I want to see it storyboarded. I want to see the finished film. I just want to see the pitch that they had and how it works.
A volcano eruption that kills all the beautiful dinosaurs and then makes a haunted house film is stupid.
We're still on Fallen Kingdom.
Dinosaurs with guns is awesome.
That was the second one of these we did. This is the sixth one. We're still talking about Fallen Kingdom out.
Jay, it hates dinosaurs. I don't
Yes.
like shows that hate the source material.
It's the shot of all of the dinosaurs we love being shrouded in the smoke from the volcano. It's that heartbreaking, like the brachiosaur just disappearing, and then it's gone. And you're like, what? No. Remember the first film when that was the wonder shot? Like they'd say, da 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 da, and you see the dino. Oh, it's the dreams have come true. He did it, and now you killed them all. Why did you do that?
Oh man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was just like, I don't like this movie. But JP3, good river sequences, fine.
Good parasailing, good aviary, birdcage. I liked that the studio logos rippled at the start, like the footprint in the first one. That was I hadn't noticed that before, so I liked that.
Mm-hmm.
But it just makes me think, hey, I could be watching that better film.
Just there's a couple good gags. It's 80 something minutes before credits, but I don't even think those 80 minutes are worth watching because I don't like any of the people involved.
Yeah,
so it's short, but I would still watch a longer movie with scenes I like.
Yes, I'm not against longer films within reason. If I have the time to watch them, I may never watch Oppenheimer again. I don't know. It was a very long film.
Jay, aside from the first film, have there ever been any likable characters in the next 5 Jurassic Park movies?
Julianne Moore, maybe.
As a photographer that just gets up in animals' faces and is like, I know what I'm doing.
Okay, I like the character of Pete Postlethwaite's character. I mean, he's not a guy I want to go for a beer with, but
he's good.
He's great. In Jurassic World. No. Chris Pratt's friend, Omar Sy. He seems like a fun guy, whose name I can't remember.
Yeah.
And the Lauren Lapkus and Jake Johnson up in the control
that was
room,
good.
Maybe. Fallen Kingdom.
Mm-mm.
No. And then Dominion is mainly those characters again. And BD Wong has had a heel turn and is now back to being a good guy almost in the last one, but still no.
Just wearing sweaters.
Yeah.
The pilot's fine.
Yeah, the pilot was. I like the pilot.
Ramsey was okay, but none of them are really They're more just like, yeah, they're fine.
Yeah. None are jumping out. So no, I mean, I think we're not going out on a limb saying Jurassic Park, the best film in the franchise with the best character. It's the best film of all time.
It's just odd. Like, all 3 of those Jurassic World movies cleared $1 billion at the box office.
People like dinosaurs.
Imagine if they were good. But that's the thing. That's what Dominion does, though, Jay. That's what Dominion does, and we like Dominion because of the swimming chicken dinosaur. Like, Dominion brings the dinosaurs. There's a lot of dinosaur action.
So, imagine if they were good, got me.
What's true? Jurassic World is not good. Jurassic World is a reboot-quel that just does all the beats over again. It's smart, whatever. Not good. 2, horrifying. 3, fun, swimming chicken dinosaur.
Yeah, and the sadder thing is dinosaur.
Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
And like the raptors that just tear up the streets.
See, it's the ones that bring the fun, real dinosaurs. That's the people who like making these films. Like the ones that invent dinosaurs. Yeah. They're cool enough as they are. They're already cool. Stop it.
Dinosaurs
make ones
great.
That are guns. You shoot this gun at someone and the dinosaur attacks them. Right, or you could just shoot them with the gun. Fool. Ugh. It's cooler to eat my dinosaur. True. Think of something else. Okay, this is our most negative show we've ever done.
No.
Yes, it is.
We came up with some. Listen, okay, this is the thing I find positives with movies, but Joe Johnston talks about it negatively. Nivola talks about it negatively. William H. Macy talks about it negatively. So I don't think that we are. I think if we had to mine for positives, that would feel false.
Right.
There's a front kick to a dinosaur's face. That's cool. The Spinosaurus is a good gag. There's the big piles of poop. That's nice.
There's a corpse.
Yeah.
There's dinosaur.
A child being ripped into 6-7 pieces.
Yeah. Too many. Or enough. I don't know. Okay. Oh dear. So we don't want Joe Johnston to come back for another. He seems to have kind of retired. He made The Nutcracker in the Four Realms, a film that doesn't exist, and hasn't worked since.
I think he just had to do reshoots for it, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, he did do reshoots. Yeah. Lasse Hallström was the first director. I didn't see that film. Okay, I think we're done with the Jurassic Park 3. Dang. Yeah, so we'll do.
Listen, this episode's in and out. The movie's in and out.
Yeah. So we will do the MonsterVerse, the King Kong films at some point. Next week, I think is the next Pirates of the Caribbean film with Nick Rehak again, Dead Man's Chest. Had a very fun time talking to Nick about that. I was reminiscing on the Lambcast episode. The 700th Lambcast is coming up soon, and I'm a guest on that. I was reminiscing about when Nick and we had an episode on the Lambcast on the Grand Budapest Hotel, which back when I hosted it, and 7 people dropped out of that recording over the course of the time.
Wow.
And it ended up just being me and Nick. I'd only been hosting for like a month or two, and I was terrified it was just going to be me and one other person. And it's like Nick Rehak, one of my best friends, one of the guys I've podcasted with the most. And there are so many podcasts that are just me and him. And I can't believe I turned back and I was like, oh, this is going to be an awful show. He and I talk, one other person about a film. And it's just, Nick and I talk about so many films so well these days. So I'm just, how time has changed in those 9 years.
You can just talk about, you can just get them lined up and get going with anything. It's great.
It's always a fun time. So yeah, Dead Man's Chest is next week with Nick. Mark, any plugs?
Yeah, just Movies, Films, and Flicks podcast. And then you can check out my work at Fandom. And I just updated the Tom Cruise Rotten Tomatoes article for them. I have that article at The Ringer, Film Theory. I'm writing some fun stuff. So yeah, all that usual thing.
Excellent. And you can find me over at lifeversusfilm.com. I mentioned the Lambcast. Not sure when I'll go up the 700th, but I'll look out for that. And I'll mention it again. I was on Too Fast, Too Forever recently to talk about Fast and Furious, the 4th one. That was a fun show.
Good people.
Yeah, they're great guys that will be on this show soon. In about a month's time, hopefully, to talk about Driven. We're going to get back to Rennie Harlin soon.
Have you listened to that commentary yet?
I haven't watched the film yet, Mark.
Oh, fair enough.
I will watch the film and I will listen to the commentary before the episode, but I will watch the film first. And then I'll listen to the commentary when I'm doing my Deep Blue analysis.
Got it.
But yes, it will happen, don't worry.
Oh, wait, no, there's a separate commentary with Stallone talking about his deleted scenes for 40 minutes.
Do I have to watch 2 commentaries?
I guess not, Jay.
I'll see what I can do. See how much time I've got. But for Jurassic Park 3, I have been Jay Glure.
And I'm Mark Hoffmeyer.
And we'll Deep Blue see you next week.